Among America's most enduring cryptid legends is the story of the Fouke monster, also widely known as the Boggy Creek monster. This elusive, Bigfoot-like creature reportedly roams the swamps and forests of southern Arkansas near the small town of Fouke. The creature's legend evokes a primal fear of the unknown wilderness, a monstrous shadow lurking just out of sight. Its story is one of folklore and mystery, blurred lines between fact and fiction, and the human fascination with the possibility that some creatures still roam wild and unseen. In 1991, a mysterious discovery of skeletal remains in the nearby woods of East Texas, less than 50 miles from Fouke, rekindled public curiosity. Were these the remains of the infamous Boggy Creek monster, or just the bones of an exotic animal left to decay? This story explores the facts, eyewitness accounts, and investigations surrounding that discovery, shedding light on one of America's most captivating cryptids. The Fouke monster legend has roots deeply embedded in the rural folklore of southern Arkansas. Long before the advent of social media and viral videos, word-of-mouth tales of strange, shadowy creatures filled the air around campfires and back porches. Locals described the creature as a large, hairy, bipedal beast, something between a man and an animal, with glowing eyes that pierced the dense, humid darkness of the bayous and forests around Fouke. Its presence was often accompanied by an eerie, strong, and unpleasant odor, described by some as a pungent mix of rotten eggs and decay. Accounts from the 1950s and 1960s frequently depicted the Fouke monster as towering between 6 and 8 feet tall, moving silently but powerfully through the swampy terrain. Witnesses spoke of it leaving behind enormous three-toed footprints, tracks that seemed almost too large and strange to belong to any known creature. The creature's reputation was one of a mysterious guardian, or perhaps a malevolent spirit of the wild, depending on who told the tale. Some residents feared it as a threat, warning children to stay indoors at night. Others embraced the legend as part of their local identity, weaving it into the fabric of their community's story. Sightings of the Fouke monster. In 1955, a 14-year-old local boy reportedly saw a reddish-brown creature near Fouke. He fired birdshot at it, but the creature did not react and walked away. Skeptics suggest it was likely a misidentified black bear. The Fouke monster first made headlines in 1971 with a dramatic encounter that gripped the small town of Fouke, Arkansas. On May 2nd of that year, Bobby and Elizabeth Ford experienced a terrifying event at their home. Elizabeth, initially thinking the creature was a bear, was sleeping on the couch when the creature allegedly reached through a screen window. Alarmed, her husband Bobby and his brother Don rushed to chase it away. During this intense confrontation, the Fords fired several gunshots at the creature, believing they had hit it, though no blood was ever found. Despite an extensive search, the creature vanished without a trace. However, three-toed footprints were discovered near their home, along with scratch marks on the porch and damage to a window and siding. The Fords recalled hearing strange movements outside several nights before, but had only lived in the house for a few days and had never encountered anything like this before. Just a few weeks later, on May 23, 1971, 3 other witnesses, D.C. Woods Jr., Wilma Woods, and Mrs. R.H. Sejas, reported seeing an ape-like creature crossing a nearby highway. Over the following months, local residents and visitors reported additional sightings and found more footprints. One of the most notable sets of tracks appeared in a soybean field owned by Scott Keith, a local filling station owner. The footprints, like those found at the Ford residence, had 3 toes. However, game warden Carl Gallion, who examined the prints, was unable to confirm their authenticity. The growing attention led a Little Rock radio station to offer a $1,090 bounty on the creature, prompting hunters to attempt tracking it with dogs, though these efforts were unsuccessful. In 1972, the mysterious tale of the Fouke monster transcended whispered campfire stories and local gossip to captivate audiences nationwide. The Legend of Boggy Creek, a low-budget film directed by Charles B. Pierce, brought the legend vividly to life in a way few could have predicted. Blending dramatized reenactments with documentary-style interviews from residents, the film blurred the lines between fact and fiction, creating an eerie, immersive atmosphere that left viewers questioning what was real. The film's semi-documentary style was groundbreaking for the time and laid the groundwork for many future cryptid-themed productions. The legend of Boggy Creek did more than entertain. It gave the Fouke monster a permanent place in American popular culture. The legend of the Fouke monster may have reached national attention through the legend of Boggy Creek, but long before the film, no one kept the story alive more passionately than Smokey Crabtree. A lifelong resident of Fouke, Smokey became intertwined with the creature's history after his son Lynn reportedly encountered a massive, silent figure watching him from the trees in the mid-1960s. Unlike distant researchers who dismissed the tale as mere folklore, Smokey grounded the mystery in real community experience, collecting eyewitness accounts, searching for evidence, and lending his family's land and knowledge to the 1972 film, which brought authenticity to its portrayal of Boggy Creek. In the years that followed, he authored several well-known books, including Smokey and the Fouke Monster, documenting local stories, cultural history, and behind-the-scenes insights that solidified him as one of the most credible voices on the subject. Though he never claimed definitive proof, his dedication to preserving the accounts of those who lived near the swamp made him the human link between myth and lived experience, ensuring the Fouke monster legend endured for future generations. Nearly 2 decades after the legend of Boggy Creek brought the creature's tale into homes nationwide, a new development stirred fresh interest in the Fouke monster legend. On November 27, 1991, James Mackey, a landowner leasing hunting grounds near Carthage, Texas, just under 50 miles from Fouke, made a discovery that would reignite the mystery. While exploring the dense, tangled woods, Mackey and a companion stumbled upon skeletal remains unlike anything either had ever seen. The carcass was partially decomposed and conspicuously headless, the bones arranged in a way that defied easy identification. Its shape was unusual, unsettling, and unlike any known animal commonly found in the region. The sight was eerie and puzzling. What creature did this skeleton belong to? Was this the long-sought proof of the Fouke monster, or remains of an exotic animal lost to time? The skeleton's lack of a skull and several bones complicated efforts to identify it. Was this a misidentified carcass, an exotic animal, or something else entirely? While the sheriff's office was preparing to secure the remains officially, an unexpected turn occurred. Mackey's 17-year-old nephew, driven by a mix of curiosity and perhaps fear of losing this potential proof, took the skeleton and transported it across state lines to Vivian, Louisiana, setting the stage for further investigation. The teenager and Smokey Crabtree. The teenager, aware of the local Fouke monster legend, reached out to none other than Smokey Crabtree. Smokey wasted no time traveling to Louisiana to examine the remains himself. What he found fascinated him. According to his memoir, Too Close to the Mirror, published in 2001, Smokey believed the skeleton possessed unique features that warranted deeper study. Though the feet didn't align perfectly with the iconic three-toed prints linked to the monster, the overall skeletal structure was compelling. Smokey saw something in those bones that suggested the story wasn't over. Smokey negotiated ownership agreements with a teenager and a third party to bring the skeleton back to Fouke for preservation and display, transforming the mystery into a public spectacle. Preserving the mystery. The Monster City Jamboree. To protect and display the skeleton, Smokey encased it in a clear acrylic box on a wheeled wooden frame, creating a unique local attraction. Concurrently, Smokey hosted the Monster City Jamboree, a popular Saturday night music event. He capitalized on this by charging $3 for viewing the skeleton, using the proceeds for scientific testing and further research. News of the skeleton attracted locals, cryptid hunters, and media, with TV segments aired in Texarkana and Shreveport. Scientific analysis and the search for answers. Louisiana filmmaker Jim McCullough Sr., famous for his 1976 documentary Creature from Black Lake, took a keen interest. Seizing the chance to connect the skeleton to the Fouke monster legend, he and his son produced The Hunt for Bigfoot in 1995, a low-budget documentary featuring footage from Smokey's home and local eyewitness interviews. The documentary is culturally significant, but lacks scientific insight, highlighting the fascination with the monster and the divide between folklore and empirical evidence. Experts studying photos of the skeleton noted several anomalies that complicated its identification. The skull and distal bones, finger and toe tips, were missing, likely removed during taxidermy preparation. Both the hands and feet appeared to have 4 digits, not matching the Fouke monster's 3-toed tracks. The narrow hips suggested the creature might not have been bipedal. When standing upright, the skeleton measured an imposing 7 to 8 feet tall. These characteristics deepened the mystery, sparking debate over whether the remains truly belonged to the legendary creature or something else entirely. After thorough comparisons to known animal anatomy, many experts proposed a simpler explanation. The skeleton belonged to a large exotic feline, most likely a Siberian tiger. This theory was consistent with the missing skull, claws, and skin, reportedly removed by a taxidermist before discarding the skeleton improperly. Skepticism and believers. The Fouke monster legend has long divided opinion between skeptics and believers. While many locals and cryptid enthusiasts hold firm to the creature's existence, scientific and investigative scrutiny has yet to confirm any physical evidence. Skeptics point out that despite decades of reported sightings, most notably the 1971 incident involving the Ford family, no verified biological proof of the creature has ever been produced. A 1971 analysis by an archaeologist from Southern State College concluded that the famed 3-toed footprints were likely a hoax, as primates and humans possess 5 toes, not 3. Moreover, no DNA, bones, or forensic evidence have substantiated claims of a large unknown creature roaming the Arkansas swamps. On the other hand, believers argue that eyewitness accounts and physical traces, such as footprints, scratch marks, and damage to property, provide compelling if anecdotal evidence. The story of the Fouke monster has become deeply embedded in local culture, symbolizing the enduring human fascination with the unknown and the wild. The legend's persistence, bolstered by over 100 reported sightings since the 1940s, demonstrates a community's connection to folklore, even as the scientific community remains unconvinced. For many, the Fouke monster represents more than just an unproven creature. It embodies mystery, regional identity, and the ongoing allure of what might still lurk just beyond the edges of our knowledge. Final thoughts. The Fouke monster sits at the crossroads of folklore and reality. Credible eyewitness accounts, cultural storytelling, and that puzzling skeleton found near Boggy Creek. Most experts lean toward a big cat explanation, but the truth? Still uncertain. And maybe that's the point. The Fouke monster thrives because we crave mystery, because some part of us still wonders what hides in the dark corners of the American wilderness. So that wraps up today's documentary. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most enduring swamp legends, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more mysteries, and let me know in the comments. Do you think the Fouke monster is real? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.